Morning. Just got up. You know, I got a friend over in Egypt, and he was telling me that he says, you don't understand how it is here. And I said, oh? He says, well, it's violent, and he's afraid to be in his own country. Well, he would like to come here, and I'm sure he would be a good person if we brought him. The same is true with Egypt, as it is with Syria, as I'm sure it is with Iran, as I'm sure it is with people in Iraq. There are probably some good Saudis. But the point is that there are also people in these groups that want to do harm to us. And they have declared war against our country. So when you're talking about Syria, where you have a civil war going on, you have a lot of good people that are good people. And if they came here, they would not create issues for us. But there are also thousands of those people in the mix that would create issues for us. And to separate them, it's the impossible task. We could say we have these intensive programs to ferret the good from the bad, but guess what? They're not fail-safe, they're not 100%, and it's not guaranteed. So we will inevitably be bringing in people who don't want to be here to be good U.S. citizens. They want to be here to create problems for this country. So that's why we would set up safe zones in places like Syria to give those people a place of homage, and then or refuge, whatever you want to call it. But when the violence subsides, they go back to their country. That's how we should deal with it. It's cost effective. But I'm illustrating that point to also talk to you about our Mexican friends. That just as there are good people, there are also some that are not so good. But the vast majority of people from Mexico, great folks. I'm not going to underscore that for you. They are not serfs. They are well-educated people. Many of them have a good work ethic. And unemployment is low in Mexico. And part of that is because of NAFTA. You can thank our country for helping you with your unemployment issues. But the point is that there are also a lot of problems that come from Mexico. Problems that fuel drug addictions in our country, getting that stuff across the border, and many other issues that are related to violence, bringing of gangs into our country where they commit violent crimes. But it's not everybody from Mexico doing that, I understand that. So that's why we need a border wall, to stem the flow of some of that. But on top of that, and this is the part that maybe some of you need to understand, that even good Mexicans create problems for our country. People who are not out committing violent crime, people who are not out massively breaking our public laws, people who are good, loving, family people. And we understand that. They're good folks, but when you come here and you have a child, otherwise known as an anchor baby, it costs $10,000 to $22,000 to bring that child into the world, and that doesn't include the $10,000 or more it's going to cost to educate that child annually. That doesn't include the cost of giving that child social services programs, such as Medicaid. So there are other obligations that you create to our country when you come here illegally. And you may be good people, and there's no question to that, but we do not get subsidies from the country of Mexico to deal with people who want to come here and decide to settle here. It is the American people who pay for that. And it quite literally costs, a lot of money. And to even talk about how it affects our economy, to even get into how it affects our government, let's just say it's very expensive. And as stated, Mexico is not helping us with that. We are having to pay for that. So that's why we need a border wall. It's not to be mean to people, but the folks in Mexico, guys, listen, DACA, 80% of the people from Mexico. 10% of the people are from Central America. And while we have sympathy for that, we have no way of verifying who is going to meet the requirements of people who are left here by their parents. We just can't do that. And the reality is that some of those people could have just come across the border and said, oh, well, my parents left me here. And the answer to you is very simple. All you have to do is go back to your country. If you were from someplace like Sudan or someplace like Russia where that would be a burden, I'd get it. But the point is that you're not. You're from Mexico, you're from Central America, you're from Guatemala, you're from Nicaragua, you're from some of these countries, and you can go back. All you got to do is go across the border and you can deal with it. Well, I hope you understand why it's an issue. It is not because, the Mexicans are entirely bad people. Even the good folks, and I want you to understand that even the good folks create obligations for our country that are expensive. So, thanks. Have a great day.